You've made it well known you want to communicate more with the public.
Yes.
Let me put these questions to you and let's see if you're going to answer them. The rumour was that behind the scenes, the way forward was to start charging for university places. That was almost all agreed, but the minister didn't go with it because his policy in his manifesto was against that. But he had nothing in the policy against preschool. You know where I'm going here.
Yes.
Was that the case? Was there really another alternative to
There were a number of other opportunities available, there's no doubt. Excuse me.
Did you have a favoured one? Is this your favoured one?
This is the one that the department has recommended.
Is this your favoured one?
Council, we will have to see how this one works out. You mustn't lose sight of the fact that in an ideal situation, we would not be discussing this issue at all. The only issue in relation to preschool would be expanding it still further. We are, though, in very, very difficult financial times. We have to balance this budget within the next 2 or 3 years. We've lost a third of our income. Yes. We've lost £170 million.
You do that very well, and I tell you where you're going there, but keeping on the subject here, have you got faith in your Minister of Education? Is he going to stay the course? He
will stay the course. He's very committed to education.
Are you committed to him?
I'm committed to all my ministers, but clearly there will be times over the 5-year government where there will be changes, there will be reshuffles. But at the moment, the Council Ministers working well together. Yes, we've been tested, I think, with this issue. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to hide from it. It's not been an easy one for me or for the Council Ministers to deal with. But as Chief Minister, I give my full backing to ministers. And I hope we'll be able to continue to work as a team.
And in the halls of power, there's obviously the rumours continue that there's going to be some sort of reshuffle of your ministers. Do you see that as a possibility? I mean, I know you're not going to tell me now what it is, but is it likely that there may be a reshuffle at some point?
The previous government stayed intact for the whole 5 years. There were very few changes at all. I've already stated publicly that that would not be my intention for the whole 5 years, that there will be reshuffles periodically of ministers and also, of course, with departmental members. It's important that we do this periodically anyway, especially for members, to give them a wider experience of different aspects of government. Everybody benefits from that because you can get very complacent and a bit stale if you're in a department for too long. I want to keep it fresh. I want to keep the energy going. We have some exceptionally challenging times ahead of us, and I want to get the best out of all the members.
Now back to Mr. Horton and Mr. Hall. They're not on other departments therefore they will have a pay cut. Is that how I read this correctly?
Yes, I think that is the case. Mr. Horton is Deputy Chairman of the Manx Electricity Authority, but outside of that they have no governmental responsibilities.
So they've voted in a financial way here. Yeah. But it's been called cowardly. This is even by people who are supporting the preschool amendments. Cowardly, would you put it like that?
It probably wasn't the wisest choice for the members to take. Clearly this sort of reaction was always going to happen when you duck out of what is a very important debate. There's no getting away from the fact preschool education is a vitally important public service that we provide on the island. So walking away from that debate, rather than resigning, for example, and arguing in favour of their own position, could be seen as not the wisest way forward.
I'm taking it you're not going to just offer them another position in the near future then?
There will be changes in the time ahead. There are none planned at the moment, but we don't know what the future brings.
And finally, the Government of National Unity, how unified is it?
Well, there's been perhaps an over-expectation from this comment that I made at the outset. The whole point behind my comment was quite simply a reaction to the public's disgust, frankly, at the infighting, the bickering, the personality clashes which took place in the previous 5 years.
Could say it's happening at the moment, though.
Well, it's obviously not as harmonious as it was, but the whole basis of making this claim or this ambition to have a unified government was more to say what I want to do is draw a line under the past, put all personal rancour behind us. We have some very, very difficult decisions to make. We need to draw the best out of all members. My offer to all the members of Tynwald was quite simply, if you want to work in government, if you want to take a role in government, I'm not going to hold the past against anyone. I want to have a fresh start with everyone. And initially, at least, all members did agree to join various departments in different ways. It's tested that concept, I think, but it was always going to happen at some point. I don't expect, I wasn't naive enough to think that that relationship with members would stay stable for the whole 5 years. But the principle behind what I said is still the same. I think the public, and certainly it was made very, very clear to me during the election in September, the public are fed up with the clashes, the backbiting, the point scoring, and the navel-gazing, in effect, which took place in the previous 5 years. They want us to knuckle down and tackle the problems of growing the economy and balancing the budget. If we don't balance the budget in short order, we will be faced with even more difficulties 3 or 4 years down the road, where we really will have to cut into core services. And that is going to put an even greater pressure on the members themselves then, in conflict between doing what is their heart tells them and what their head demands that they do fiscally.